First Contact Dr. Maya Chen stood at the observation deck of the research vessel Prometheus, staring into the vast emptiness of space. The ship had been dispatched to investigate an anomaly detected at the edge of the solar system, beyond Neptune's orbit. Initial scans had suggested it might be an unusual asteroid or comet, but what they had found defied all expectations. Dr. Chen, we're approaching the object now. Captain Erickson's voice crackled through the intercom. You might want to see this. Maya made her way to the bridge where the rest of the research team had already gathered. Through the main viewport, she saw it. A massive structure floating silently in space. It was clearly artificial, with smooth, curved surfaces that reflected the distant sunlight in shimmering patterns. The structure was roughly cylindrical, approximately 3 kilometers in length and 1 kilometer in diameter. That's no asteroid, whispered Dr. James Park, the team's astrophysicist. No, Maya agreed, her voice barely audible. That's a spacecraft. The bridge fell silent as the implications sank in. After decades of searching the stars for signs of extraterrestrial intelligence, it had found them instead in their own cosmic backyard. How long has it been here? Asked Maya. Dr. Park consulted his tablet. Based on its orbital trajectory and the accumulation of cosmic dust on its surface, I'd estimate at least 50,000 years. And we never detected it before now? It appears to be composed of materials that absorb standard scanning frequencies, explained Dr. Serena Okafor, the materials specialist. It's only visible now because something has changed. Some kind of energy signature has activated within it. Captain Erickson turned to Maya. As mission specialist, this is your call, Dr. Chen. Do we investigate? Maya didn't hesitate. Prepare, aborting team. We need to see what's inside before reporting back to Earth. 6 hours later, Maya floated through the silent corridors of the alien vessel, accompanied by Dr. Park, Dr. Okafor, and Lieutenant Wilson, the security officer. Their magnetic boots clicked softly against the metal floors as they moved deeper into the structure. The atmosphere is stable, reported Wilson, checking his suit readings. Oxygen-nitrogen mix similar to Earth's, but stale. This place has been recycling air for millennia. How is that even possible? Asked Dr. Park. No power source should last that long. As if in response to his question, soft blue lights began to illuminate along the walls, creating a path ahead of them. It knows we're here, whispered Maya, both excited and unnerved. The lights led them to a vast chamber at the heart of the vessel. As they entered, the entire room came alive with holographic displays, showing star systems, planets, and complex mathematical equations that floated in the air around them. This is incredible, breathed Dr. Okafor, reaching out to touch one of the displays. As her fingers passed through it, the hologram shifted, displaying what appeared to be a DNA helix. Look at this, called Dr. Park from across the chamber. He was standing before a large crystalline structure that pulsed with energy. I think this is the ship's central computer, or maybe its power source. Maya approached it, feeling an inexplicable draw to the crystal. As she neared, the crystal's pulsing intensified, and to everyone's surprise, a beam of light shot out, scanning Maya from head to toe. Dr. Chen, shouted Wilson, reaching for his weapon, but Maya held up a hand. I'm fine, she assured him, though her heart was racing. It's just scanning me. The beam retracted and the crystal's pulsing settled into a steady rhythm. Then, to their astonishment, a humanoid figure materialized before them. A holographic projection of a tall, slender being with elongated limbs and a large head with oversized almond-shaped eyes. Greetings, inheritors. The figure spoke in perfect English, its voice resonating throughout the chamber. I am Arax, custodian of the Celestial Ark. You have finally arrived. Maya's scientific mind raced with questions. How are you speaking? Our language? I have been monitoring your planet's communications for centuries, learning your languages and studying your development, replied Arax. The activation protocol was triggered when your species achieved sufficient technological advancement to reach this vessel. Activation protocol? Echoed Dr. Park. This vessel, which you may call the Celestial Ark, was left here by my creators, the Antharians, as a gift to the emerging intelligent species of the third planet. You, humans. I have waited 53,472 of your years for your arrival. A gift? Asked Maya. Why would an advanced alien civilization leave us a gift? Arax's holographic face took on what could only be described as a somber expression. The Antharians foresaw their own extinction. They were a peaceful species, devoted to understanding the universe rather than conquering it. This made them vulnerable when they encountered the harvesters. The hologram changed, showing terrifying images of massive, dark ships descending upon a beautiful blue-green planet. The ships resembled predatory sea creatures, with long, barbed appendages and hulls that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. The harvesters are a species that scours the galaxy for advanced technology, particularly artifacts left by ancient civilizations. They do not create, they take. They assimilate the technologies of others, using them to expand their domain across the stars. And they destroyed your creators? Asked Dr. Okafor softly. Yes. The Antharians were not prepared for conflict. By the time they understood the threat, it was too late. But before their civilization fell, they created vessels like this one, repositories of their knowledge and technology. They scattered them throughout the galaxy, leaving them near worlds with emerging intelligent life. Why? Asked Maya. Hope, replied Arax simply. The Antharians hoped that other species might use their knowledge to defend themselves against the harvesters and other threats. They observed your planet for thousands of years and saw potential in your species, a resilience and ingenuity that their own people lacked. Lieutenant Wilson, ever practical, asked, if this ship contains advanced alien technology, why can't we detect it from the outside? Why has it remained hidden until now? The celestial arc was designed to remain dormant until contacted by its intended recipients. Its exterior absorbs scanning frequencies and visual light, making it nearly invisible. Only now, having been discovered, has it begun to awaken fully. Maya's mind was reeling with the implications. You mentioned defenses against these harvesters. What kind of technology are we talking about? The arc contains the pinnacle of Antharian science: energy manipulation, matter conversion, gravity control, faster than light travel, and defensive systems capable of protecting an entire planet. And your creators just gave this to us? Dr. Park sounded incredulous. What's the catch? Arax's hologram moved closer to Maya, studying her with apparent interest. The technology cannot be easily removed from this vessel, nor can it be operated by just anyone. The Antharians encoded genetic keys into their most powerful systems. They can only be fully activated by species with compatible neural patterns. Are we compatible? Asked Maya. You, Dr. Maya Chen, are particularly compatible, responded Arax, surprising them all by knowing her name. Your neural pattern shows an extraordinarily high synchronization potential with our systems. This is unexpected, but fortunate. Before Maya could process this information, their communication devices buzzed simultaneously. Captain Erickson's urgent voice came through. Research team, return to the ship immediately. We're detecting multiple objects entering the solar system at high velocity. They appeared out of nowhere and they're heading directly toward your position. The research team exchanged alarmed glances. Maya turned back to Arax. Are those the harvesters? The hologram's expression confirmed her fears before it spoke. Yes. The activation of the Ark's systems has sent a signal that they have detected. They have come for the celestial Ark, as they have done countless times before with other Antharian vessels. How much time do we have? Demanded Lieutenant Wilson. At their current velocity, approximately 72 of your hours before they reach this position. Maya made a quick decision. We need to get back to the Prometheus and warn Earth. Arax, can you prepare the Ark's defensive systems? We'll return with reinforcements. I cannot fully activate the defensive systems without an authorized operator, someone with the correct neural pattern, replied Arax. I require your assistance, Dr. Chen. Maya hesitated, torn between her duty to report back and the undeniable pull she felt toward the alien technology. I need to inform Earth first. We'll be back." As they hurried back toward their ship, Dr. Park caught up with Maya. "Did you notice something odd about Arax's interest in you specifically? The way it said your compatibility was unexpected?" "I noticed," Maya replied grimly. "There's something it's not telling us." Back aboard the Prometheus, Captain Erickson wasted no time setting a course for Earth. "We need to get this information to the United Space Command immediately," he said, his face grim. "If these harvesters are as dangerous as your alien friend suggests, Earth needs to prepare." As the Prometheus accelerated away from the celestial arc, Maya couldn't shake the feeling that their discovery had set something unstoppable in motion. She stared out at the stars, wondering what secrets still lay hidden within the ancient vessel, and why she, of all people, held the key to unlocking its power. Behind them, the celestial arc hung silently in space, its existence now known to both humanity and the approaching harvesters. The race to determine Earth's fate had begun. In the ship's lab, Maya examined her own blood sample under a microscope, searching for anything unusual that might explain her compatibility with the alien technology. She found nothing obvious yet. The memory of the crystal's reaction to her presence haunted her thoughts. "Dr. Chen," called Dr. Okafor from a nearby console. "I've been analyzing the data we collected from the Ark. There's something you should see." Maya joined her colleague, who pulled up a three-dimensional model of what appeared to be DNA. "This is the genetic template Arax showed us," explained Dr. Okafor. "At first, I thought it was showing us Antharian DNA. But look closer." As Maya examined the model, her blood ran cold. The structure was unmistakably human, but with subtle modifications, additional sequences inserted with surgical precision. "That's human DNA," she whispered. "Not quite," corrected Dr. Okafor. "It's human DNA with modifications. And based on the preliminary analysis of your blood sample," she pulled up another model alongside the first, "the modifications match sequences in your genome." Maya stared at the display, struggling to comprehend what she was seeing. "Are you saying the Antharians modified human DNA? My DNA? Not just yours? The modifications appear to be ancient, possibly introduced thousands of years ago. But your genetic makeup shows a particularly strong expression of these modified sequences." The implications were staggering. Had the Antharians been modifying human genetics throughout their evolution? Was humanity's rapid advancement from hunter-gatherers to spacefaring civilization in a mere few thousand years the result of alien interference? And what did it mean for Earth now that the harvesters were coming? As the Prometheus raced toward Earth, carrying news of both first contact and imminent threat, Maya Chen grappled with the possibility that humanity's future and her own identity might be far more complex than anyone had ever imagined. The awakening. The Prometheus docked at the Orbital Defense Platform Alpha, Earth's foremost military installation in space. Within hours of their arrival, Maya Chen and her team found themselves in a high-security briefing room, surrounded by the highest-ranking officials of the United Earth Defense Force. Admiral Helena Reyes, Commander-in-Chief of Earth's combined military forces, studied the holographic projection of the celestial arc with intense focus. "And you're certain this alien AI, this Arax, is telling the truth about these harvesters?" "The incoming vessels match the description and capabilities Arax provided," confirmed Captain Erickson. "They appeared without warning, traveling at speeds our sensors can barely track. They'll reach the Ark's position in less than 48 hours now." General Wei Zhang, head of Earth's ground forces, leaned forward. "How many ships are we talking about?" "7 that we can detect," replied Dr. Park, pulling up the sensor readings. "Each approximately twice the size of our largest battleship." Admiral Reyes turned to Maya. "And according to this AI, you specifically can operate the alien defenses?" Maya shifted uncomfortably under the scrutiny of the military leadership. "That's what Arax claimed. Dr. Okafor has discovered genetic anomalies in my DNA that might explain the connection." Dr. Okafor stepped forward, displaying her findings on the holographic projector. "We've found what appear to be engineered genetic sequences in Dr. Chen's DNA. These sequences aren't unique to her. They appear in varying degrees throughout the human population. But in her, They're particularly pronounced. "Are you suggesting aliens have been tampering with human DNA?" asked General Zhang, his expression a mixture of disbelief and concern. "The evidence suggests the Antharians introduced certain genetic markers into human ancestors tens of thousands of years ago," Dr. Okafor explained. "The purpose seems to be to create compatibility between human neural patterns and their technology." Admiral Reyes paced the room, considering the implications. So these aliens were planning for this moment, preparing humanity to use their technology against these harvesters. "It appears so," agreed Maya. "And now the harvesters are coming, whether we're ready or not." After a brief silence, Admiral Reyes made her decision. "We'll deploy our fleet to the Ark's position. Dr. Chen, you'll return with a military escort to attempt to activate these defensive systems." "That's not all," Dr. Park interjected. "Based on the trajectory of the harvester ships, if they don't find what they want at the Ark's location, they'll come to Earth next," finished Admiral Reyes grimly. "We need those alien defenses operational. This is now our top priority." 12 hours later, Maya found herself aboard the UES Intrepid, Earth's newest and most advanced warship, streaking back toward the celestial arc. Accompanying her were Dr. Okafor, a team of engineers, and a full complement of Space Marines under the command of Major Desmond Harris. "I still can't believe this is happening," Maya confessed to Dr. Okafor as they prepared their equipment. "A week ago, I was analyzing mineral samples from Mars, and now I'm supposedly the key to operating an alien superweapon." Dr. Okafor gave her a sympathetic smile. "Science is rarely as orderly as we'd like it to be. Breakthroughs often come when and where we least expect them." "This is a bit more than a breakthrough," Maya replied with a wry smile. "This is first, contact, an existential threat, and the revelation that humans might be partly engineered by aliens, all in 1 week." Their conversation was interrupted by a sudden alarm. Maya rushed to the nearest viewport in time to see space itself seem to ripple and tear. A massive ship, dark and ominous, appeared where empty space had been moments before. "They're here early," Major Harris announced over the intercom. "All personnel to battle stations. Dr. Chen, Dr. Okafor, get to the shuttle bay. We need to get you to that Ark now." The next few minutes were chaos as Maya and Dr. Okafor were hurried to a military shuttle. Through the viewport, Maya caught glimpses of the battle beginning to unfold. Earth vessels firing salvos of energy weapons that seemed to dissipate harmlessly against the harvester ship's hull. "Our weapons aren't having any effect," reported the shuttle pilot as they detached from the Intrepid. "We'll try to use the battle as cover to reach the Ark." The shuttle accelerated away from the conflict, pushing Maya back into her seat with the G-forces. Behind them, more harvester ships were emerging from what the tactical officer called fold space jumps, a technology far beyond human capabilities. "The Intrepid is drawing their fire," the pilot announced. "We have a clear path to the Ark." They approached the ancient vessel. Maya saw that it had changed. The once dormant structure now pulsed with subtle energies, its surface etched with glowing patterns that hadn't been visible during their first visit. "It's activating," she whispered. The shuttle docked at the same entrance they had used before. Maya, Dr. Okafor, and a squad of Marines led by Major Harris himself disembarked, moving quickly into the alien vessel. "Arax," Maya called out as they entered. "Are you there?" The holographic figure appeared before them, its expression grave. "The harvesters have arrived sooner than anticipated. They have detected the Ark's awakening, and will not stop until they possess it." "Can you help us defend against them?" asked Major Harris, cutting straight to the point. "The Ark's defensive systems remain locked," replied Arax. "They require activation by a compatible neural pattern." The hologram turned to Maya. "You must come to the central chamber immediately," as they made their way deeper into the vessel. The Marine squad set up defensive positions at key junctions. Through their communications, Maya could hear reports of the battle raging outside, and it wasn't going well for Earth's forces. "The Dauntless is down," came one grim report. "The Resolute has suffered critical damage. The harvesters are cutting through our fleet like it's nothing." In the central chamber, the crystalline structure that had scanned Maya during their first visit now pulsed with intense energy. Arax guided her to a platform directly before it. Place your hands on the interface. Panels, instructed the hologram. Your neural pattern will unlock the Ark's core systems. Maya hesitated, looking back at Dr. Okafor and Major Harris. What exactly will happen when I do this? The Ark will recognize you as an authorized operator, explained Arax. You will gain control of all systems, including defenses. Taking a deep breath, Maya placed her hands on the smooth, slightly warm panels on either side of the crystal. Immediately, she felt a tingling sensation spread up her arms and into her mind. The crystal brightened, bathing her in blue-white light. Then, without warning, information began flooding into her consciousness, vast, complex knowledge pouring directly into her brain. She saw star maps, understood the principles of fold space, technology, glimpsed the history of the Antharians and their long conflict with the Harvesters. It was overwhelming, magnificent, and terrifying all at once. Maya! Dr. Okafor's voice seemed distant. Your nose is bleeding. Should we pull you out? No, Maya managed to say, though her voice sounded strange to her own ears. I can see. I understand now. Through the connection, Maya became aware of the Ark itself, its systems, its capabilities, its purpose. She sensed the Harvester ships surrounding them, felt their weapons preparing to fire. With a thought, she activated the Ark's defensive shields. Outside, a translucent blue barrier materialized around the Ark, extending to encompass the Earth vessels nearby. The Harvester's energy weapons splashed harmlessly against it. It's working, exclaimed Major Harris, watching the tactical display on his wrist computer. Whatever you're doing, keep it up. But Maya was already moving beyond simple defenses. Through the Ark's sensors, she studied the Harvester ships, identifying weaknesses in their design. They relied heavily on stolen technology, much of it Antharian in origin. That gave her an advantage. With another thought, she activated the Ark's main weapon system, not a destructive beam or explosive projectile, but a targeted electromagnetic pulse calibrated specifically to disrupt Antharian-derived technology. The FAIR pulse shot out from the Ark, invisible but powerful. When it reached the nearest Harvester ship, the effect was immediate. The massive vessel's lights flickered and died, its weapon systems went offline, and it began to drift helplessly in space. What did you just do? Asked Dr. Okafor in amazement. Targeted EMP, Maya replied, her voice stronger now as she grew accustomed to the neural interface. The Harvesters used stolen Antharian technology. I just turned it off. Major Harris was already relaying this information to the Earth fleet. Target the disabled ship, all weapons fire. The remaining Earth vessels concentrated their fire on the vulnerable Harvester ship. This time, without its defensive systems active, their weapons found their mark. Explosions bloomed across its dark hull. But the victory was short-lived. The other Harvester ships, learning from their companions' fate, began to adapt. Maya sensed changes in their energy signatures as they modified their systems to resist the Ark's pulse. They're adapting, she warned. I need to change tactics. Through the neural link, Maya accessed deeper levels of the Ark's systems, searching for alternative defenses. What she found was something far more significant: the true purpose of the Celestial Ark. It's not just a weapons platform, she gasped, as the realization dawned on her. It's a terraforming engine. The Antharians were going to help us transform Mars, Venus, make them habitable. Focus, Dr. Chen, urged Major Harris. The Harvesters are regrouping. Maya redirected her attention to the immediate threat. The remaining Harvester ships had formed a new formation and were charging what appeared to be their main weapons, massive energy cannons that drew power directly from their engines. Through the Ark systems, Maya activated a different defense, a gravity manipulation field. Space itself seemed to warp around the Harvester ships, disrupting their formation and throwing off their aim. Their energy beams fired but missed the Ark entirely, one of them inadvertently striking another Harvester ship. The battle continued this way for nearly an hour, Maya using the Ark's defenses to counter each Harvester attack, the Earth fleet picking off vulnerable targets when possible. But Maya could feel herself tiring, the neural interface draining her both mentally and physically. "I can't maintain this much longer," she admitted, sweat beading on her forehead. As if sensing her weakness, the largest of the Harvester ships, presumably their command vessel, broke away from the others and accelerated directly toward the Ark. "They're going to ram us," shouted one of the Marines. Maya searched desperately through the Ark's systems for a solution and found one, though it terrified her. The Ark contained the technology to generate a localized fold space jump, essentially creating a small controlled wormhole. She could send the command ship somewhere else, far from Earth. But to create the jump with such precision required deeper integration with the neural interface, a level of connection that Arax had warned might have unpredictable effects on a human mind. "Do it," urged Major Harris, seeing her hesitation. "We're out of options." Taking a deep breath, Maya deepened the connection. The influx of information intensified tenfold, threatening to overwhelm her consciousness entirely. She felt as if her very self was dissolving into the Ark's systems. With the last of her focused will, she targeted the command ship and activated the fold space drive. Space in front of the oncoming vessel tore open, creating a swirling vortex of energy. The Harvester ship, unable to change course in time, plunged into the artificial wormhole which collapsed behind it. Where the massive ship had been moments before, there was now only empty space. "Where did you send it?" asked Dr. Okafor in amazement. "Deep space," Maya managed to whisper. "Thousands of light years away. It will take them decades to return, even with their technology." Seeing their command ship vanish, the remaining Harvester vessels began to retreat, jumping away into fold space one by one until the battle was over. Maya released her grip on the interface panels and collapsed, caught by Major Harris before she hit the floor. Her nose was bleeding freely now, and her eyes had difficulty focusing. "Get a medic," shouted Dr. Okafor, kneeling beside her friend. "No need," said Maya weakly. "The effect is temporary. Neural overload." She managed a small smile. "Worth it though, right?" As the Earth fleet regrouped and damage reports came in, Maya gradually recovered from the neural strain. But something had changed within her. The connection to the Ark hadn't fully severed when she removed her hands from the interface. She could still sense the vessel's systems at the edges of her consciousness. A faint but persistent link. "We should return to Earth," suggested Major Harris once Maya was able to stand. "Report our success and prepare for the possibility that the Harvesters will return in greater numbers." "They will return," confirmed Arax's hologram, which had remained silent during the battle. "What you encountered today was merely a scouting force. The Harvesters never abandoned their hunt, especially not for technology as valuable as the Ark." "Then we need to learn more about these defenses," said Maya, her scientific curiosity reasserting itself despite her exhaustion, "and about what else the Ark can do." As they prepared to depart, Maya felt a strange sensation, a pulling at her mind. Following the feeling, she led the others to a section of the Ark they hadn't explored before. There, they found a chamber, filled with what appeared to be stasis pods, similar to the one Arax had emerged from but designed for human occupants. "What is this place?" asked Dr. Okafor. "A gift," replied Arax. "And perhaps your salvation. These are genetic enhancement chambers. They can activate dormant Antherian gene sequences within compatible humans, strengthening their connection to our technology." Maya looked at the pods with a mixture of wonder and apprehension. "You're saying these could turn more humans into whatever I'm becoming? They could create more operators for Antherian technology?" "Yes," confirmed Arax. "This was always the Antherians' plan, to give humanity the tools to defend itself when the time came." Major Harris studied the pods with obvious strategic interest. How many humans could potentially use these pods? How many could become operators like Dr. Chen? Based on current human genetic profiles, approximately 1 in 10,000 would be compatible enough for the basic enhancements, replied Arax. Those with ancestral connections to certain regions of your world show higher compatibility rates. So maybe 1 million people on Earth. calculated Dr. Okafor. That's a potential army of enhanced humans, said Major Harris thoughtfully, each capable of operating Antharian technology. Maya wasn't sure whether to be excited or terrified by the possibility. The neural interface had shown her glimpses of incredible knowledge, but it had also nearly overwhelmed her mind completely. We should proceed carefully, she cautioned. We don't fully understand what these enhancements would do to a human in the long term. As they departed the Ark, boarding the shuttle that would return them to the Intrepid, Maya took one last look at the ancient vessel. It had changed everything. Humanity's understanding of their place in the universe, their history, and now their future. And somewhere out in the depths of space, the harvesters were regrouping, preparing to return for what they believed was rightfully theirs. The battle had been won, but the war was just beginning. Aboard the Intrepid, as Earth's battered fleet set course for home, Maya stood at a viewport watching the celestial ark grow smaller in the distance. A squad of Earth's best ships would remain behind to guard it, but she couldn't shake the feeling that she should have stayed as well. The connection between her and the ancient vessel persisted across the growing distance, a silent reminder that her life had been irrevocably changed. "What happens now?" asked Dr. Okafor, joining her at the viewport. "Now," replied Maya, "we prepare, because the harvesters will be back, and next time, they'll bring everything they have." Arrival of the harvesters, 3 months after the first encounter with the harvesters, Earth had transformed. Knowledge of the alien threat had been made public, uniting humanity in ways previously thought impossible. Old conflicts were set aside as nations pooled their resources toward a single goal: survival. The sprawling headquarters of the newly formed Earth Defense Alliance in Geneva buzzed with activity as Maya Chen made her way through security checkpoints. Since the battle at the Celestial Ark, she had become both a scientific leader and a symbol of hope. The woman who had connected with alien technology and driven back the first harvester attack. "Dr. Chen," greeted Admiral Reyes as Maya entered the war room. "Right on time. The Security Council is eager to hear your report." The circular chamber was filled with military officers, government officials, and scientific experts from around the world. At the center was a holographic projection of the solar system, with the position of the celestial ark clearly marked. "Thank you, Admiral," Maya replied, stepping up to the presentation platform. "As you all know, for the past 3 months, we've been studying the celestial ark and preparing for the harvester's return. Today, I can report significant progress on several fronts." She activated her neural link, a capability that hadn't faded after her connection to the ark. If anything, it had grown stronger with time and practice. The holographic display responded instantly to her thoughts, zooming in on the ark. "First, we've established a permanent research base aboard the ark. 50 scientists and engineers are now living there full-time, working to understand and adapt Antharian technology for our use." The display showed the human additions to the ark, docking structures, habitat modules, and communication arrays. "Second, we've begun limited testing of the genetic enhancement pods. 300 volunteers, all military personnel with the highest genetic compatibility, have undergone the procedure." "What were the results?" asked the Chinese representative, leaning forward with interest. 247 subjects showed successful enhancement, developing neural link capabilities similar to my own, though generally less pronounced. The remaining 53 showed no change. Importantly, we've observed no negative side effects thus far. This news caused a murmur of approval throughout the chamber. The enhanced volunteers, now dubbed interfaces by the media, represented humanity's best hope for operating the advanced Antharian technology. "Finally," Maya continued, "we've made breakthroughs in adapting Antharian defensive technology for use on conventional Earth vessels. The UES Defiant has been equipped with a prototype shield generator based on ARC technology, and initial tests are promising." General Zhang raised a hand. "What about offensive capabilities? The defensive measures are impressive, but we can't win a war on shields alone." Maya's expression grew more serious. "That's proven more challenging. The Antharians were primarily focused on defensive and constructive technology. Their weapons systems are sophisticated but limited in scope. They never developed the kind of planet-killing weapons that would match the Harvester's capabilities. So they were too peaceful for their own good, remarked the Russian representative. And that's why they're extinct. Their values were different, Maya corrected firmly.